Welcome to my channel Tech Set Go. Alright guys, it's that time of the year again when every Apple fan starts wondering what's next for the iPad mini. And trust me, this time it's not just another tiny refresh. We're talking about some major leaks that point toward Apple completely redefining what the mini stands for. The next G model, let's just call it the iPad mini for now, could become one of Apple's most exciting tablets yet. From a brand new A19 Pro chip to possible old display technology, upgraded battery life, and even features that blur the line between mini and pro, this one is worth paying attention to. So sit back, grab your favorite drink, and let's dive deep into everything we know and everything that's been quietly leaked about Apple's upcoming iPad mini 8. You know, I've said this many times before, the iPad mini is honestly one of Apple's most underrated products. Everyone talks about the iPad Pro, the Air, and now the M series chips, but the mini holds a special place in a lot of people's hearts. It's small, powerful, and ridiculously portable. It's the iPad you can actually hold comfortably in one hand and still get serious work done on. And even though we don't get a new mini every single year, when Apple finally drops one, it's usually worth the wait. From the iPad mini 6 redesign to the 7th gen model that brought the A19 Pro chip, each version has pushed this little tablet closer to pro territory. But now, according to the latest reports and code leaks, the iPad mini 8 might be jumping leagues ahead with the same A19 Pro chip that's going into the iPhone 17 Pro models next year. Let's talk about the leak itself, because this didn't come from some random rumor account or a questionable forum post. This information was apparently spotted in Apple's own internal code that was accidentally uploaded online. Developers and tech analysts quickly noticed references to new iPad identifiers linked with Apple's A19 chipset. And that's when the speculation exploded. What's fascinating is that Apple seems to be testing multiple versions of the A19, a base model, a Pro, and what's being called a Bend A19 Pro variant. That last one reportedly has one less GPU core potentially for slightly cheaper devices. That's where the new iPad mini 8 comes in. Could feature this Bend A19 Pro chip, delivering near flagship performance at a more affordable price. True, that means the next mini would have the same raw power as the upcoming iPhone 17 Pro, making it an absolute beast for gaming, multitasking, and even light creative work like photo and video editing. Now, imagine this for a second. A pocket-sized tablet running the A19 Pro, Apple's most advanced processor to date. We're talking about a chip built on an enhanced 3nm process, packing more GPU cores, better thermal efficiency, and next-gen AI capabilities integrated right into the neural engine. That means faster performance across the board. From launching heavy apps to rendering 4K video in Final Cut Pro, and with Apple focusing more on on-device, AI in iOS 19 and iPadOS 26, the A19 Pro could allow the Mini to perform smart tasks completely offline, like live transcription, AI photo editing, or background scene removal, all happening on device without sending data to the cloud. That a big deal for privacy and speed? It's the kind of upgrade that transforms the Mini from a small iPad into a serious productivity tool. Okay, let's talk design, because if there's one thing fans have been asking for, it's an old iPad mini. Rumors have been swirling for a while that Apple is planning to bring old displays across its iPad lineup. We're expecting the iPad Pro to get old first, followed by the Air, and then the Mini. Some sources claim Apple could debut the first old iPad mini in early 2026, while others think it might slip to 2027. Either way, the fact that the Mini is part of that long-term old roadmap says a lot. Old would mean deeper blacks, higher contrast, better battery efficiency, and just an overall premium feel. Basically, a mini promotion experience in your hand. And speaking of promotion, yes, fans are still holding out hope that Apple might give us a 120Hz refresh rate on the Mini 8. It's been one of the most requested features for years. Combine that with thinner bezels, potentially new pastel color options, and a reoriented camera for horizontal FaceTime calls, and you've got a really appealing little device. Upgrades say, let's be honest, the camera has never been the reason anyone buys an iPad mini. But it looks like Apple could still bring a few tweaks here. Rumor has it the Mini 8 might adopt a landscape front camera layout similar to what the new iPad Air and Pro models have. That small change makes a massive difference for video calls, especially when the tablet's docked or used with a keyboard. On the back, there's a chance we'll see LiDAR return, mainly to support AR apps and spatial features that Apple's really leaning into with Vision OS, even though most people won't use. LiDAR daily, having it there would help future-proof the device for Apple's long-term AR ecosystem. As for battery life, if Apple does make the chassis slightly thicker, even by a millimeter or two, that extra space could translate to a noticeably bigger battery. Combine that with the power efficiency of the A19 Pro and an old display, and we're talking serious battery gains. Now, the iPad mini 8 isn't just about performance. It's also about staying connected and creative. Apple's been expanding features like MagSafe charging, Wi-Fi 7, and Bluetooth 5.3 across its ecosystem. And the next mini is expected to include all of these. We also can't forget about Apple Pencil Pro support. It's basically confirmed at this point. For digital artists or students, that's a gimmicker. The new Pencil Pro's haptic feedback and squeeze gestures make note-taking, gacking, and sketching feel a lot more natural. So imagine pairing that with a smaller form factor. You've got a near-perfect digital notebook. Students, designers, or even professionals who travel light are going to love this combo. Now the big question, when is it coming out? Most analysts believe Apple could drop the iPad mini 8 sometime in October 2025, potentially alongside other fall hardware refreshes. That would make sense considering the iPhone 17 series will debut in September, and Apple often releases iPads a few weeks later. But there's also a possibility Apple could hold off until early 2026 if they're planning an old version. It really depends on whether Apple wants to stagger the launches or align them all with their new chip rollout. As for pricing, expect something in the $599 to $649 range for the base model, depending on configuration. If an old model launches later, that could push it closer to $700. Now, let's talk about what fans really want. The dream of an iPad mini Pro. We've been talking about it for years. Mini with a promotion display, LiDAR, and maybe even a smaller version of the M-series chip. Wouldn't it be awesome if Apple gave us a mini Pro that truly matched the power of the iPad Pro lineup, just in a compact body? Imagine editing 4K video drawing, multitasking, and running multiple AI tools, all on a device that fits in your jacket pocket. Realistically, though, Apple will probably keep the A-series chips in a mini to maintain some price separation from the Pro lineup. Still, the idea of a mini Pro refuses to die, and with every new generation, the mini inches closer to deserving that Pro badge. Here's something interesting that's been floating around. Some analysts believe that once Apple releases its first foldable iPhone, the need for an iPad mini might start to fade. Think about it. If you have a foldable iPhone that opens up to roughly the same screen size as the iPad mini, would Apple still keep the mini around? It's a fair question, but personally, I think the mini serves a unique role. It's not trying to replace your phone or your laptop. It's that perfect middle ground for media consumption, light productivity, and travel. Even with foldables coming, there's something incredibly practical about having a dedicated small tablet that doesn't drain your phone's battery or cost $2,000. Now, look, I know the iPad mini isn't for everyone. It's a niche product, but that's exactly why it's special. It's for people who want performance, portability, and personality in one tiny package. And if these leaks are accurate, the iPad mini 8 will deliver all of that and more. So yeah, maybe Apple won't call it the iPad mini Pro. But with an A19 Pro chip, promotion potential, and possibly an old screen, it might as well earn that title. Personally, I can't wait to see this little powerhouse make a comeback later this year. And if you're like me, someone who genuinely loves the mini for what it is, then the next few months are going to be really exciting. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you buy an iPad mini 8 with an A19 Pro chip, or would you rather wait for an old version? And if Apple did release an actual mini Pro, would you pay extra for it? Drop your thoughts. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And don't forget to subscribe because we've got a lot more Apple leaks, rumors, and updates coming your way. Until next time, stay creative, stay curious, and I'll catch you guys in the next.